What does it take to be on the board of a FTSE 100 company? To be part of a senior executive leadership team? To have the letters CEO next to your name? These are questions many young entrepreneurs ask. And yet, why is it that when we look at these boards, there are barely any women filling these roles? I don't think it's surprising that female representation on boards and leadership teams needs to be increased. Out of all the FTSE 100 companies, only 7 have female CEOs. So, clearly, change needs to be made. But how can we ensure that today's young women are equipped with the skills that they need? We all know the saying, who run the world? Girls. Well, it's time we bring that energy to the business world too. If we want to increase the number of women in senior executive positions, it is vital that girls are gaining these skills at school. Not at university, not in their first job, not on their MBA, but at school. Everything else is too late. I believe there are 5 categories of skills that are vital in ensuring we can have more female CEOs in our future. Communication, reasoning, emotional skills, creative and management and organization skills. Instilling these skills in girls at school will help solve the problem of not enough women on boards within FTSE 100 companies. Firstly, communication skills. Communication is the most important skill in life, but also in business. We're talking about oral and written communication, listening, speaking, presenting, conversing, writing emails, the list goes on. Schools do teach communication skills, but this is in the form of giving a presentation about a particular topic. I'm sure we've all given presentations at school, reading from a script, clicking through PowerPoint slides, but let's be real, that's not teaching us useful business skills. We need to learn how to defend our ideas, how to negotiate, how to compromise and think on our feet. And these skills are much more important than just speaking about a particular topic. Companies want people in their senior executive teams who can think on their feet, who can develop their ideas after receiving feedback, people who can compromise and come up with solutions that appeal to everyone. So, whilst we do learn communication skills at school, are we really learning the most useful ones? Secondly, reasoning skills. By this, I mean memory, problem solving, thinking critically, and being attentive. Throughout our whole school career, we are constantly preparing to take exams. Whether they are nationwide or internal tests, exams limit our creativity and demand us to regurgitate facts. While essay subjects may allow room for an alternative opinion or viewpoint, they must always be structured in a specific way. And when it comes to science and maths fact-based exams, there is a definite right or wrong answer. Yet again, this is not preparing us for the real world. Employers seek individuals who can think critically, problem solve, and offer innovative perspectives. And it is these soft skills that we create leaders. Thirdly, emotional skills. You might be thinking, what are emotional skills? Well, examples include processing emotions, but also being caring, positive, empathetic, resilient, and intuitive. And it's these attributes that make someone a person. Women tend to be better at recognizing emotions and facial expressions and processing them. And it's these skills that are increasingly sought after in our current society. While AI has proven to be extremely effective at performing administrative tasks, it is not sentient. It simply cannot capture the depth of human emotions that is needed to meet the high-level expectations within FTSE 100 companies. Obviously, any changes made to the education system would affect both boys and girls. However, girls tend to need these skills taught more explicitly to them to ensure they can become credible leaders of the future. Fourthly, creative skills. Creativity is a key part of being a leader, and creativity comes from doubt, from being unsure, from being uncertain. Girls will only be able to think out of the box in the future if we instill confidence in them that you don't always have to be 100% certain about something in order to do it. In fact, we should do it scared. If you fear something, there are two options that you could take. You could forget everything and run, or you could face everything and rise. Creativity is closely linked with confidence, and aspiring female leaders are going to need bucket loads of this if they want to make it in a man's world. And finally, management and organization skills. Sounds really dull, but it's so important, and it involves everything from general organization skills to decision making through to time management and everything in between. We develop these skills without even knowing it, from the smallest of tasks. Think back to primary school, when you might have been tasked with being a line leader, or as you got slightly older, you might have become a prefect, or been tasked to lead a group project. All of these skills have started to form us as businesswomen and equip us with the skills that we need to rise to the top and start taking up those senior executive positions. So with all that said, what does it take to be on a board of a FTSE 100 company, to be part of a senior executive leadership team, to have those letters, CEO, next to your name? I'm imagining a future where everybody has the opportunity to become a leader. But to get there, we need to reimagine our education system and embed the teaching of the essential skills needed to thrive in these executive roles into the curriculum. It is essential that communication skills, reasoning skills, emotional intelligence, creative skills, and management and organization skills are embedded into each and every academic subject. By teaching critical thinking, problem-solving, negotiation, and listening skills, we can transform schools into empowering places where girls like us are equipped with the tools they need to rise to the top, lead successful lives, and start taking up those senior executive positions. If schools pay attention to this, I believe they can unlock the potential of future generations and shape a world where women are not just making up the numbers in the boardroom, but actually become extraordinary CEOs.